Hello and welcome to Around the World in 800 Watts, CFCR's look at Saskatoon's multicultural extravaganza, Folkfest. Folkfest takes place this Thursday to Saturday and features 16 pavilions representing various countries and ethnicities from around the globe. CFCR volunteer host Patricia Pavey caught up with some of the pavilion representatives to find out what sights, sounds, smells, and tastes we could expect from their pavilions. First up today, Patricia speaks to Raul from the Central American and Mexican Pavilion.
So we have Raul here to talk about the Central America Mexico Pavilion. Is that the actual name of the pavilion?
That is the actual name this year. It's Central
good.
America and Mexico.
What will people find when they come to your pavilion?
Well, one of the things this year that we're trying to have is the same type of entertainment, but with a little bit of more traditional dances.
Do you have
There will
professional dancers, or are they?
Well, most of our volunteers, most of them are volunteers. They're actually local groups.
Yeah.
We don't have any major professional, but yet that we have the dancers they have been dancing for the last, I think, 7 years. So I would say they're professional by now.
Oh yeah.
So
for
they're
sure.
pretty good at that now. So
Do you have live musicians there?
there will be a live band on Saturday night to just do the close up for us. It's a local band. They've been playing very wide here in Saskatoon. They're pretty well known now. They've been participating in the jazz festival in the past.
And the food, what can people eat?
Now, that's a good question. Yeah. Well, food. So, what we have this year is a special menu. Actually, we have, Mexican food is always attractive to all people, but we do have special tamales from Central America, taquitos. The normal Mexican traditional foods. There might be specialties and drinks too. I think there's called the Paloma. It's a mix of like a margarita, but it's a different twist to it. So that's a new one for us and the pavilion. Arroz con leche is one of the traditional ones from all Latin America, I suppose. But it's very that's a delicious one. Yeah.
And they're going to be made here in town.
Definitely, yeah. They'll be made in the place.
Yeah. And there'll be displays, I imagine.
Yeah, we'll have a little small marketplace. We call it a mercadito. So, people who are interested in getting something to take home, we'll have some tables set up in the pavilion.
And you said the location is St. Joseph's Hall on Broadway?
St. Joseph Hall, that's on Broadway, I understand.
Yeah. And the parking around there probably isn't all that good. But I'm always encouraging people to take the bus.
That's the best idea, I suppose, for moving around. Buses are running and might as well take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah. You get your passport and just get
That's
on the
true.
bus and the world's at your doorstep.
That's true.
And the hours, they sort of it's pretty standard.
It's standard
5
hours.
to 11, something like that.
Same schedule, I suppose, as the other pavilions will have. On Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Thursday. So we starting at same time as the other ones, and following ending at the same time on Saturday at midnight, and then following up, we're finishing up with a fiesta party at the end. So that doesn't change. In the past, the other pavilions have had something similar, but this time we are localized. We're having the local band, finishing up for us that night. Yeah.
Sounds good. So we encourage everyone to come and
participate.
I
I like to invite everyone in Saskatoon who never had a chance to travel to Mexico or Central America to come and check us out. And we have something definitely for you, something new, something to learn from. And we will love to have you there.
That's the thing, to learn about one another.
Yeah, that's the main idea. You need to learn something about cultures, about language. By the way, we have a school that is in place in Saskatoon. We have 3 schools running out that you have a chance to learn something new, and the school will give you an idea on how to improve if you like to move on in that path. If you want to learn Spanish, yes. The pavilions are a good example of how you can started learning a second language.
So there'll be information at the pavilion, I guess, if you're more interested in learning the language and
Yeah, we'll have a little booth.
traveling, extra things like that.
True. Yeah, we'll have a little booth there for people who are interested in getting more information on how schools are run and where they can go and have classes and such. There's classes for everybody, and dance classes as well. So, there's just everything for everybody.
Sounds terrific. Well, thank you, Raul.
Well, no, I thank you for your time, and I hope to see everybody there.
And now Patricia's headed to the first European pavilion of Around the World in 800 watts, speaking with Effie Koutsaganis of the Greek Pavilion.
So Effie's here to talk about the Greek Pavilion. So welcome, Effie. And what would you like to tell us special about the Greek Pavilion at Folkfest this year?
Well, for those of you that don't know, we've moved to Prairieland Park. We're on Hall E. We've been there since 2008. We're really enjoying our new space. We've had a display built, so it kind of gives you the feeling and the atmosphere of being in a Greek village. Our menu has stayed the same since last year. We had some new additions last year. We had dolmades, the grape vine, which are filled with ground beef and rice. We also had the moussaka last year. And we had Greek-style yogurt, and they were all very, very, they were a great hit, so we've kept them on our menu for this year.
Sounds yummy. And besides the food, you probably have drinks as well. Are you licensed probably?
We are licensed. We have all the domestic beer available and hard liquor. We also have our import beer Mythos, which is a beer produced in Greece, and our Nectar of the Gods. I'm not at liberty to release the recipe to it, but it's very, very delicious.
It's a secret recipe.
Yes, it is.
And as well as the food, people can be entertained. What will the entertainment consist of?
We have our local dancers, aging from age 4 till our young group, a young youth, which are about 25 years old. We also have a dance group from Regina coming up. We have a live band, Arcadia, that's a local group from Regina. They've performed here previously. They will be performing again this year. They'll be performing Friday and Saturday evening. And Dance Egypt is also adding to our entertainment this year. They'll be performing a few small sets on Friday and Saturday. A few years ago, we also put into our pavilion grape stomping, which has become quite an entertainment aspect. A lot of people enjoy it just to see what actually happens in the process of making wine.
Can people actually participate in that? Or is it
definitely.
Just
they really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, my husband actually took all the juice home, and we made wine with it. So quite the process, but yeah.
Are you going to be selling that this year?
No, we can't do that.
No. I'm glad Arcadia is still around. I know they were at the Jazz Festival one year. They had a couple of CDs, and I bought them both. I really loved them.
Yeah. They played in the Jazz Festival, I think about 2004, 2005. I grew up with the guys in Arcadia, so we have a kind of a
in
growing
Regina.
up on. Yeah, in Regina.
Yeah.
And they've performed on the Taste of Danforth in Toronto a number of times, and Greek people really enjoy listening to them, and non-Greeks too. So we're glad they're back
I'm
this
not
year.
Greek. And souvenirs, can people buy things to take home?
Yeah, we have a number of souvenirs from Greece. We have little bracelets. A lot of the souvenirs, which are quite popular in Greece too, have the little, what we call the little evil eye on them. So there's a lot of bracelets and necklaces. We have little shot glasses with Greece on them. We have the little pomegranates, silver pomegranates, and pomegranates are quite important in Greek households. They are thought to bring good luck into a Greek household. We have cookbooks, which are produced by the ladies of the Greek community here in Saskatoon. They'll be for sale again this year. And just various little urns, various trinkets from Greece. So we have olive oil soap. And we also, one thing that we had last year added to our pavilion was a henna tattoo artist. She does a lot of Greek motifs, the Greek key, the acanthus leaf. So she'll be participating in our pavilion again this year. We also have the Museum of Antiquities, and we have some people dressed up in ancient Greek attire, so they will be available for photo opportunities if people are interested. So, yeah.
So it's a lot less expensive than going to Greece. So people who can't afford to go or have never been or can't get there for whatever reason, this will whet their appetite, no doubt. And so what is there anything else we need to say? You're open at the usual hours. And as I mentioned to someone else, the Scottish representative, people could just go out there and spend half a day and go halfway around the world.
Definitely. Folkfest is a great event in the city, cultural event, and it brings different ethnicities together. And I guess it's a venue for people to learn about different cultures, especially with Saskatoon's demographics changing and so many cultures coming into the city now. It's a great venue for learning about other cultures, participating in their own cultural games or cultural dance. And that's one thing too we're going to really try and push in our pavilion, is just people participating more in dancing and just participating more within the pavilion. So we're trying to incorporate the Olympic theme, so we're thinking about doing little competitions throughout the 3 days, so hopefully people will take part in them.
And displays, you'll have some displays, no doubt.
Yeah, the ladies put up displays with regards to different costumes we have, a lot of the Greek, ancient Greek art, ancient Greek sculpture. So various aspects of a pavilion has a lot of displays up on it.
Sounds good. So thank you, Effie.
Thank you very much.
Next up on Around the World in 800 Watts, Patricia has a chat with Gerald Harrison about the India Pavilion.
So hello, Gerald. You're representing the Indian Pavilion.
The India Pavilion.
And why should people come to your pavilion? Tell me about the entertainment and the food.
We have a reputation for having some of the best priced food and some of the best tasting food, so that should tell you. Plus, many of the other pavilions eat at our pavilion. We can tell because they show up in costume in lines. So we've been very popular with food over the years. Our entertainment, we've got a variety of classical and semi-classical folk music. And we don't hire people from outside. We cultivate.
It's all Saskatoon.
We cultivate dancers from some of the various schools in Saskatoon, and they perform locally. We use the talent in the city.
And music, you have your own musicians, I guess, as well.
Sometimes we have live musicians. We'll probably have a mix of live musicians and recorded music. Last year, we were fortunate enough to have a traveling group, Kuchipudi dance group, that the Year of India in Canada 2011 touring group across Canada scheduled to come and perform in our pavilion, something we could never afford.
Wow.
But they perform. We don't have that this year, but so we use our own resources.
And where is the pavilion?
It's again in Walter Murray Collegiate on Preston
That's
Avenue.
the usual spot.
1905. It has been for the last couple of years.
And souvenirs, will people be able to buy souvenirs from there?
We hadn't any special souvenirs this year. We have a bazaar set up in the food area, and we have a number of vendors who will sell. They could be souvenirs, I guess. They'll sell jewelry and purses and fabrics and various types of things that are either made in India or come from India. We don't just sell anything for the purpose of paying the rent. We have to do that. But we're not going to sell things that don't originate in India. So we're an India Pavilion after all, and we're only there for 3 days.
Right. And is there anything else we should know about it?
We're going to operate, I think, our gourmet food tent this year outside. It didn't operate last year, but we have mainline food in the gymnasium in where our bazaar is. We also cook things that require open flame, and that has to be cooked outside, and that's always popular.
What will that be? What will you be cooking?
Usually dosa, which is kind of a crepe. That's always popular. We usually have a lineup for that. We smartened up over the years. We used to serve only one day. It was so popular, we serve it all 3 days now. So, and a number of other items that hasn't been set yet, but that's always a popular item. So.
And the food inside?
Well, we've got butter chicken we're going to have this year. We've got chana masala as one of the dishes. Mixed vegetable curry is one of them. Beef vindaloo. We've got vegetable palau. We have naan. And I think outdoors they'll maybe have samosas as well as the dosa. So a little bit of something for everybody. We have vegetarian and non-vegetarian meals. And we'll be serving probably mango milkshakes. One of our sports subdivisions is going to do that to raise funds for the sports activities we have during the year.
Will there be any representation of sports at the pavilion? Will people be able to learn about the sports?
If we have a display in our organization, we'll have
yeah.
that. We'll have that to show what other activities. Because we're unlike many of the other pavilions. We're busy during the year, so we have 8 or 10 events, and we rent Broadway Theatre for Bollywood movies once a month, first-run movies. So we use the funds for that, and we'll have a bit of a profile of the organization, what we do at that time. So there'll be a bit on sports as well. So.
And that's just touched on displays. What other kinds of displays will there be?
Well, one of the things I'm working on right now is a couple of audiovisual displays, basically an island with rear projection screens. I've got a show, a PowerPoint show, that shows about 3,000 or 4,000 years of Indian architecture, something we can't drag into the building, so we're going to have to use pictures. And I have another one on fashion, and that one we can display stuff that we couldn't afford. So we'll have samples of what they are and how they're worn and where they come from. And I'm working on one or two others, probably jewelry. And there's one other one I'm thinking of working on, and maybe a travel log. But what we're doing this year is, for a change, the Folkfest theme happens to correspond with what we do anyway. We celebrate diversity all the time, because anything you can do in India, you can multiply thousands of ways. There's more than 2,000 ethnic groups in the country. So if you want to say hat, you say, which hat are you talking about? So we're going to capitalize on the fact that India has a lot of color. It's not afraid of color. It uses color in all forms for festivals and clothing. So remember what Mark Twain said? He went to the place and he said, my God, it's all color. So we've capitalized on that, and I asked the question, what color? So we're putting together 8 or 10 island displays that will focus primarily on one color. There'll be a red in one area and green in another one and blue in another, and things will relate to that and maybe give this significance, and we'll spread that around. We're trying to get some young people involved in putting that together. They're struggling with it a little bit, but they...
So it'll be a feast for the eyes as well.
We hope so.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you.
And just encourage people to go and enjoy themselves.
Thanks for listening to the second episode of Around the World in 800 Watts. Tune in for the third installment tomorrow on The Buzz to hear even more information about Folkfest on CFCR 90.5 FM.